What's up, everyone? Welcome into Fantasy Football Office Hours, brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by the esteemed Professor Joey Wright. What's up, Joey?
Not a lot. You made a mistake in your intro. You said joined always by Joey Wright, and I am here today to right a wrong, and that is why our guest is with us. Because I was sick earlier this year and missed a wonderful opportunity to do office hours with our guests. So that's why I'm here today.
It was a wonderful one. Our only two-time guest on Office Hours of the season. Coming back is our friend Jake Parry on Twitter at Parry_FF. He is the host of the Two Average Husbands podcast and a content creator over at JWB Fantasy Football. And the new episode might be out right now. It's coming out shortly of Crushing the Competition with FF Tyler O, host of that show. Jake, thank you so much for joining us today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me back. It's an honor to be the only two-time guest on the season.
We're excited to have you back. And we got some questions in the chat already.
Today. Let's go.
If you guys have never joined us for office hours before, we're going to be here until about 7 p.m. Eastern time answering your fantasy football questions. We're going to try to get through as many of them as possible. So throw them in the chat, and we are going to do our best to answer each and every one of them. We got Green Screens Media on the chat saying, oh, and hi, friends. What's up, Green Screens? What's up, Eric? He wanted to know, today on the FYF Morning Show, we did a TV channel draft and wanted to know, Joey, what would your first pick in a TV channel draft be?
So I responded to this. I didn't get to listen to the draft live. I was dropping my kid off at daycare, and my number 101 pick would be the scramble channels. That, like, when you were like, as any old people out there know, like, when I was in high school, midnight, parents are in bed, click over to the scramble channel and try to see what's going on. Might be a boob, might be an elbow, but
you have no idea.
Scramble channel.
Scramble channel. That's a sleeper pick. You might be able to grab that in the last round.
The true number one pick. Let's see. Probably ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I took. I felt like it was the chalk 101, but sometimes you just got to go chalk. Jake, what would your 101 be?
Coop's sneaky red zone pick over the NFL Network.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was sexy. I liked that.
If I had to go with my 101, it's definitely changed over the years. Right now, it would probably be Food Network.
I love it. I love some Food Network. I go through phases. Like, am I in a Food Network phase or an HGTV phase?
My wife and I do the same thing. We don't watch much cable TV anymore, but just via Netflix. We go back and forth between watching like Dream Home Makeover and like MasterChef. It's a back and forth between one of those when we're not watching New Girl.
100%. We watch a lot of House Hunters International over here. Jake, I think we could be TV watching buddies.
I think
we love New Girl. We love HGTV. We love the Food Network. Some Chop to get that going, and we are happy at this
Sign me
household.
up.
Grim fan in here had a question for us to kick us off. Kelsey, Kittle, or Ingram, full PPR. Jake, if you're having to pick between these three tight ends, which one are you starting in week 17?
I'm pretty confidently just going Kelsey every time, even if there's a chance that the play is limited. It's Travis Kelsey. There's no shot I'm not putting him in my lineup. And then Joey, if I'm looking at, past that, though, I think I would probably go Ingram over Kittle this week, which may be a bit of a hotter take, but that's where I'm at.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. It's Kelsey for me. I mean, he's the number one tight end in football. He's matchup proof in my mind. And I don't hate the Ingram over Kittle. I think Kittle is great with Brock Purdy. So I probably would still play Kittle over Ingram, but I understand that.
Yeah, it's very close.
It's close. Yeah, I have Ingram at tight end 6 on my rankings and Kittle at tight end 2. So they're really close.
It's going to be Kelsey for me as well. And I don't mind that either. My only concern with Ingram is this game just could be weird for the Jaguars because they don't need to win, right? This game doesn't matter. So maybe they rest some of those players for the week 18 game against Tennessee. That does matter. That's going to determine the winner of that division. Fernando in here. Oh, we had one more question in there from Graham that I almost forgot. Cousins or Goff in the same league. Joey, are you starting Cousins or Goff this week?
Yeah, I'm going Jared Goff at home. 20 touchdowns to 3 interception ratio this season. He's been awesome at home this year. And I love the matchup against the Bears for him. So it's Jared Goff for me. Kirk Cousins outside on the road in Green Bay. Green Bay is hot right now. There's a lot of people out there saying, don't let Green Bay hot and go into the playoffs and lose in the first round. But so that was a joke. I thought I was funny. Apparently. Wow. It's the Kluge episode all over again.
Oh, no. Jake, are you going with Cousins or Goff? You agreeing with Joey here, or are you rolling Kirk Cousins out there?
Yeah, I'm going with Goff personally. I'm a Bears fan. I live just outside of Chicago. We stink. Like, if you can start somebody against us, you probably should. Our defense is terrible. We have no pass rush. Our corners are the two best corners we have are both, hurt or rookies. So it's just a bunch of question marks all over the place. So give me Goff. I think they dropped 40 on us this week, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm going Goff as well here. The Bears are bottom 10 against fantasy quarterbacks this year on the whole, averaging bottom 10 points scored by that position against them. And we had Jeff Bell on the last show, and he said something that I think is true. It does kind of feel like the Bears are just trying to get through the end of the season, keep the young players healthy, get to the end of the season. They're not making the playoffs, and they're just trying to secure that high draft pick at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, we're phoning it in at this point. We're getting out there. We're putting on a good show. We're trying, but that's all we can ask at this point.
Man, and Justin Fields has been putting on a great show this season. I'm excited to watch him next year as well. Fernando, and you had a question for us, said, what's up? What's up, Fernando? Should I start Dak or Burrow this week? Jake, if you're deciding between these two quarterbacks, who are you throwing in your lineup?
Ooh, this one is interesting. I would personally probably go Burrow. I just think the ceiling's a little bit higher. I think the game is going to the game is less likely to get out of hand is what I think it is. It's going to be a closer game. Both teams, both electric offenses versus Tennessee, who could be down 3 touchdowns in about 15 minutes of football, and they're just coasting it from there. So I'll throw Burrow out there. I just think he's got the better, range of outcomes here.
Joey, what about you? Are you starting Joe Burrow against Buffalo over Dak against Tennessee tonight?
It's going to be Joe Burrow. I've got this feeling that I did the night of the Chiefs-Rams Monday night game. This game's going to decide fantasy championships. I think both Burrow and Josh Allen are going to be on their A games for this one. It's Burrow for me. Dak, I like Dak tonight, but like I said on the last show, he could go up 28-0 at halftime, and then you might not see much passing after that. And while, for those points could be for those touchdowns, but they might be rushing touchdowns. They could be a defensive touchdown. So I would pump the brakes on Dak a little bit, and especially since you have Burrow as an option.
Yeah, I don't mind the defensive touchdown take. You could take Dallas defense for the first time touchdown score on the FanDuel Sportsbook at like plus 2,900 earlier this morning. And with Joshua Dobbs starting at quarterback for the Titans, I don't mind that as one to just sprinkle a little bit on. I'm going Burrow in this one as well. We got some people in the chat tuning in to say hi. Mr. Scampers, meow. And Gator J in here with the Joey. J-Wall said, hubba hubba, sup daddies. What's up, J-Wall? Welcome in. And Gator saying Smithsonian Channel is the true 101. That's a sleeper pick.
Can I amend my answer?
You can amend your answer.
I watch Turner Classic Movies more than any other channel throughout my whole life. So I'm just being funny when I say the Scramble Channel.
And J-Wall in here said, I laugh, Joey. Giving you that laugh right there. We got Wyatt in here saying, look at these handsome guys. Look at the handsome guy in that profile picture.
That's what I'm saying.
So handsome. Best hugs in the industry.
Can confirm.
I've never shaken Wyatt's hand. I've only hugged him every time.
Pretty much same.
Yeah.
And Fernando in here saying, thanks. New sub here. We'll appreciate it, Fernando.
Welcome.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging around.
In the mail.
It's full of Coles cash and lots and lots of Coles cash. Dame in here had a question for us. Said, if Eckler and or ETN are held out, how would you rank Cordero Patterson, Michael Carter, Josh Kelly, and JaMychal Hasty for this week? Joey, I'll throw this one to you first. How are you ranking those 4 backs?
I would start Michael Carter ahead of CPAT and then Kelly Hasty.
So it goes Carter, CPAT, Kelly, Hasty for you?
Yeah, that Seattle run defense is really bad. And so it could very much be Zonovan Knight and Michael Carter both getting a decent amount of work this week. So that's why I would rank Carter above CPAT.
What about you, Jake? Are you agreeing with Joey here?
I'm actually almost, if you did this ranking, like just opposite of the order that they're listed here, that might be how I would go. I like Hasty. I think the upside is there. The big play upside he has. And just if they're holding ETN out and Hasty's the guy, they're phoning it in. Their game doesn't matter, just like Tennessee's doesn't matter this week. Really, next week is what matters. So they could just give Hasty the ball the entire game. Wouldn't shock me. Josh Kelly, the running back is always going to have a pass catching role in that offense, regardless of if it's Josh Kelly, when it was Justin Jackson, no matter who it is. So if no Eckler, give me Kelly there. And then Carter, just again, like Joey said, that could be a great game where both him and Zonovan have phenomenal upside. And then CPAT, Algiers really taken over as of late there. So I just have him as my least exciting option. He's probably the safest floor, but just the least exciting there.
I don't mind the hasty call, especially against that Houston run defense. It's been pretty abysmal. And if ETN isn't playing, you might see some work from him. Born to Laugh had a question for us. Drake London, Christian Kirk, Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, and Christian Watson. Start 3 of these wide receivers in full PPR. Jake, if you got to start 3 of these players, where are you going?
I am going Stephon Diggs is in pretty much no matter what. I know the results haven't been there as of late, but I'm not getting scared off of his upside. If Christian Watson is healthy and active, I think he's basically a must start here. And then after that, I got to look at my rankings here. I'd probably go Kirk, but him or London would be a toss up for me.
What about you, Joe? Are you agreeing with Jake here?
100%. Yeah, it's between those 4 for me and Watson. It's just, is he going to start? Is he not going to start? Is kind of the tiebreaker for me.
The matchup's so good against Minnesota that I am going to ignore the fact that he's coming back from injury to play in this game if he does play and just start him. You want your wide receiver starting against Minnesota, and Green Bay's got to win this game. So I'm fully agreeing with you guys on that one. Jackie in here. What's up, Jackie? Welcome in. Said need 2 of Slayton, Pickens, Singletary, Haskins, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. They also added that this was a full PPR league in the comment below this. Joey, which 2 of these are you starting this week?
Singletary for some reason is a name that sticks out to me. Haskins, I am really worried about tonight, so I'm probably going to bench him out of all these. So I need to decide between Pickens, Slayton, and Peoples-Jones. Not Peoples-Jones. Probably Singletary and Pickens. I like him with Kenny Pickett. There's been some rapport there. Last week he looked good. I should have started him last week over Marquise Goodwin. So yeah, it'll be Singletary and Pickens for me.
I could have stepped in there and thrown Pickens in, but I did not.
Oh, it happened to me in many leagues, not just the one that we could have managed a team together. So,
Jake, what are you doing here? Are you agreeing with Joey?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in lockstep here. Singletary just ups again, really good game. He has, he's maintained a role pretty much all year, and then Pickens basically just off a touchdown equity in his offense.
I'm tempted by Slayton as the second one. Singletary's the lock in for me. But with the matchup against the Colts, I know the Ravens isn't a cakewalk either. I think I'll lean Pickens in this one as well and go Singletary and Pickens, but it's close between him and Slayton. Austin in here had a question for us. Hassan Haskins, DeAndre Swift, or Brian Robinson in half PPR. Jake, which of these running backs would you be plugging in for your championship?
It pains me to not say DeAndre Swift here, but I think I'm going to have to go with Brian Robinson. I just don't trust how this – I know they're going to score a lot of points against Chicago. I have no idea where those points are going to come from. Our pass defense stinks. Our run defense stinks. And I don't know if it's going to be Jamal Williams. I don't know if Justin Jackson's going to have a role, if the game gets out of hand early, if Chicago can't score. And Brian Robinson for me is one of the guys I like a little bit more probably than consensus this week. I like the matchup for him. He's the workhorse in this offense. It's the first time we get to see him working with Carson Wentz too. I think the upside is there with him. And Haskins is like a distant third for me.
I'm fully with you. It's going to be Brian Robinson for me. That matchup against the Browns is a little bit too juicy. And with Antonio Gibson banged up, I think that's the way you got to roll. What are you doing, Joey?
Yeah, I've got Swift as a borderline running back too, but I have Brian Robinson firmly as a running back too. I like him a lot this week. Did Antonio Gibson not practice today? I believe I saw that on the little rundown that he didn't practice today.
I can
he was
pull that up.
One of the two. So yeah, it's Brian Robinson regardless of Antonio Gibson's status.
Yep, he did sit out. He's dealing with some form of sprain in his knee and or foot.
There you go. I sprained my ankle one time and laid in bed for a whole weekend.
Not practicing on Thursday is not a good sign for starting them this weekend, but it is a good sign for Brian Robinson. Absolutely. We got St. Louis fans, Mr. Discount. What's up, Mr. Discount in here? Said, good evening. Good evening to you as well. Fournette, Dobbins, Haskins, Dillon, Foreman. Start 2 in a non-PPR league. They lost Henry and Pollard for the championship. I'm so sorry, Mr. Discount. Jake, which 2 of those running backs are you starting instead of Henry and Pollard?
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Joey and I also lost Henry in a league together, so we're in the struggle bus there with you. For me here, I think I think I go Fournette and Dillon. I just don't trust Aaron Jones to be 100% healthy. He wants to be out there. We know that, but I don't think Dillon is like almost a must start for me if he's on your rosters. Like there's very few guys I have a ton of confidence on over him. And Fournette just maintains such a big role in this offense. It's literally just if the drive is an odd number, it's Rachaad White. If it's an even number, it's Lenny. Like that's what it's going to be. So you know he's going to be out there for at least half the game. Dobbins, that game could get ugly. He had a good game a couple weeks ago. Haskins, I think that game is going to be very ugly. Could it be Foreman who scores? Could it be Chuba? Could Sam Darnold decide to run 3 in? I don't know what's going on there. So I'll go with Dillon and Fournette here.
I hate when Sam Darnold does that. And he does do that. He does just vulture those goal line touchdowns sometimes. Joey, are you agreeing with Jake here? Or are you plugging in a different two?
I do. I mean, non-PPR makes it a little bit closer between Fournette and Dobbins. Dillon is my definite start here. Because of this PPR, Fournette's been like a check down monster the last few weeks. But yeah, it's still going to be Fournette and Dillon.
I'm with you guys. Fournette and Dillon for me. And Jake, I love the fire that you're throwing behind A.J. Dillon because I agree. If he's on your roster, you really should be plugging him in this week. The matchup's beautiful. The game script is beautiful for him. And with no Aaron Jones potentially or a banged up Aaron Jones, like, come on.
Yeah.
A.J. Dillon could be your championship winning running back that you held on to all year.
I was going to say, if you held on to him all year, this is the point to plug him into the lineups.
Absolutely. Man, that would be wild if he was the guy that came out and won people championships. But it's lining up like it could look that way. JL in here saying hi, friends. What's up, JL?
Hey, JL.
Welcome, man. Thanks
up?
for stopping by.
You kicked my butt about 19 minutes ago.
G Money in here had a question, said Deonta Foreman or Leonard Fournette this week. Jake, which way are you rolling on this one? Deonta Foreman or Leonard Fournette?
I'm sticking with Fournette here. He's a top probably 12 option for me this week.
And if this is any form of PPR, I think it leans even further in Fournette's Ray. Joey, you sticking with Fournette in this one?
Yeah, it's Fournette. We've seen Chuba Hubbard starting to rise in this offense the last few weeks. And Fournette seems like his workload's pretty well set. And I know that I was banging the drum for Rachaad White pretty hard earlier this season. I still am. I think he's going to be great next year. And he'll get some work this year. But Fournette, his role is solidified there in Tampa Bay.
Hercules in here saying, made it to the ship. Wish me luck. Starting it off with Zeke tonight. Well, that is a great player to start it off with.
There you go.
In there. Hopefully going to get you a nice lead.
Hercules.
The big Thursday night lead in championship week, there's like hardly a better feeling. Then you just go into it. You get that Alvin Kamara 6 touchdown game on Christmas Eve, and then you just relax the rest of the week.
It is possible to lose the championship with the Alvin Kamara 6 touchdown game. I just
Did you do
that out there. I did. It was an industry league, so I was playing against a guy that also had Alvin Kamara because it was similar to Scott Fish Bowl. It was the Raz Bowl, and one of the other guys also had Kamara, but no one else did, and I still lost. But
sucks. I did not. I had him in both my championships that year that I was in, and I just turned off my sleeper notifications the rest of the weekend. We were good to go.
Yeah.
Grant here had a question. Fournette, Dobbins, McKinnon, and Foreman, pick 2. So I think all of us at this point have established Fournette over Dobbins and Foreman based on the last 2 questions. So this is going to come down to McKinnon, Dobbins, or Foreman as that second guy. Jake, is it going to be McKinnon for you? He's been hot recently, or is it going to be one of the other 2 guys?
Yeah, I'm riding with McKinnon at this point. This is the team that kickstarted this hot run for him against this very Denver team. It was his first 30-point game of his career. So I'm just firing him up here with confidence. If he's, again, it's a lot like A.J. Dillon. Like if he's on your roster, there's very few ways I'm not, like unless I have 2 top 5 running backs, there's no way he's not getting in my lineups.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, it looks like this Denver DST, the run defense, has kind of hanged it up for the season. So it's McKinnon for me and Fournette.
I'm rolling Fournette and McKinnon as well. And guys, we got a lot of questions in here. We're going to keep running through them. It might be a second before we get to yours. We're going down the list in order. So stick around with us. And if we haven't answered your question yet, we are running to get to it. Oit Boy in here. What's up, Oit Boy? Wants to know Jake's hair versus Justin Fields' hair. Start one, full PPR. I got to go with Jake. Look at that.
Yeah, I like a good man bun.
Thank you. I'm going to start Justin Fields' hair because it's attached to his body. And from the hair down, he's got me beat. So I'll go against myself on this one. But Nate, I appreciate the question.
I'm afraid my girlfriend just heard me say man bun a little too loud, and she's going to tune in from the other room just to see it. She is obsessed with a man bun.
I got to admit, this one's not doing great today, but I literally, my wife was like, prefers it when my hair is up. She does not like it when my hair is down as much. So I've been watching YouTube videos about how to do a nicer, messy bun, and I'm getting there. But this one's not that great. But I'll take it.
If that's not great, then I'm nervous to see what great is, Jake. You're going to be too dangerous if that gets better. Jay Wall in here said, start Jamal Williams or DeAndre Swift. So, Jake, I'm going to throw this one to you first. Battle of the Lions running backs. Which one's going into your lineup?
If the format gives me any points for catching passes, I go Swift. But I shouldn't even say that. I think in half PPR, I might go Jamal. I don't know. Start them both.
It's close.
Yeah,
Joey, what are you doing here?
I've got Swift ranked higher. There has to be a bit of a shift, and Jamal hasn't been the running back he was earlier in the season. However, earlier this year, Chicago was giving up double-digit fantasy points to multiple running backs per game. Now they've trailed off since that, but man, I believe early in the season, Jamal and Swift were two of the running backs that did it. It's going to be close, but Jay Wall, I know you don't play in any standard league, so I'm going to say Swift.
Swift. We had a question from Albert in here. Said pick 2 full PPR: Zeke, Connor, and ETN. So Joey, of those 3 backs, who's hitting the bench for you?
So I have ETN ranked highest of them, but there is that news that he might not play. And let me see where I have Connor. Yeah, so you have three options where you kind of have to play Zeke tonight. You have to do that to get the points, because if you wait and you bench Zeke and you play Connor and ETN doesn't play, you've lost out on the points from Zeke. So I'm not taking that risk. I have them James Conner at 7, ETN at 9, and Elliott at 10. So yeah, it's going to be Zeke and Connor.
What about you, Jake? Are you agreeing with Joey here?
Yep, same. We're in lockstep here. I would love to confidently fire up ETN, but we know this game doesn't matter for them, so it wouldn't shock me to see him not play or be limited, even if he does. So I'm going to take Zeke with a seemingly full alone workload, and James Conner's basically a smash with no Kyler. So,
Jake, can we go grab Hasty in that league? Is he available?
Zeke is the absolute for me. I'm with you guys there. Now, the only problem with Connor is he also has not practiced the past 2 days due to an illness. So on Wednesday and Thursday, he was a full non-participant at practice with an illness. Hopefully he's better by this weekend, but keep an eye on that. If he doesn't practice again tomorrow, I'm a little concerned, but I would roll Connor over ETN if he's healthy and ready to go for this weekend. Austin in here had a question for us. Said Haskins, Swift, or Robinson full PPR? I think we answered this one, didn't we?
I don't think from Austin, but we have the answer for it. It's Robinson between all of us.
Brian Robinson. Yeah, we love Brian Robinson's matchup. Antonio Gibson banged up. We're going to roll Brian Robinson out of this bunch, Austin. Mr. Scampers in here said for back-to-back championships, half PPR, need 2. A.J. Dillon versus Minnesota, Christian Kirk at Houston, and Singletary at Cincy. So, Joey, one of these players is hitting the bench. Who's it going to be?
Just one's going to hit the bench?
Yeah, they need 2, and there's 3 there.
Yeah, so I'm going to start Dillon and Kirk, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to play Singletary versus Cincy. Cincy has a good run defense, but also, Scampers, I know how you have an upset tummy, and I don't want you to have to sweat it out through Monday. So I think Dillon and Kirk, they would obviously be my 2 plays regardless, but now you don't have to have a tummy ache on Monday. You're going to know whether you won this championship or not, and you're not going to have to wait till Monday.
Oh, but sometimes it's fun to have the Monday tummy ache. It's fun to let it come down to a single player on Monday night. Jake, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm in lockstep here again. It's Dillon and Kirk for me.
Yeah, I'm going to roll Dillon and Kirk as well. Dillon being the slam dunk start for me. We got Kay in here. What's up, Kay?
Hey, Kay.
We need a flex replacement for Pollard. Would you go Michael Pittman, Isaiah Hodgins, Hassan Haskins, or Chuba Hubbard? Jake, which of those 4 would you be plugging in?
I'm gonna go Isaiah Hodgins here. I like the matchup. A lot of points allowed to the outside wide receivers there in that option. He's been a preferred option to Daniel Jones past few weeks here. I think he's been their wide receiver 1 over the last 4 weeks in that offense. It's me there. I wish it could be Pittman. He'd be my number 2 here, but I just don't trust Nick Foles to really throw the ball, period, let alone to anybody. So he's my number 2, but it's Hodgins for me here.
Are you agreeing with Jake?
I do. I don't want to agree with him because I want it to be Pittman, but
yeah,
it's Hodgins. He's looked good the last couple of weeks, and I don't trust Pittman with Foles. I really don't.
I get it. I think I'm still rolling Pittman out there with Foles. It's a talent thing. And then with Isaiah Hodgins, he's playing the same amount of snaps as 2 other receivers in that offense as well. It's gone his way the past couple of weeks, but it could easily be a Darius Slayton week out there. So I think I roll Pittman, but I understand getting Hodgins in there over Michael Pittman. I'm biting my tongue and just holding my breath while I start Michael Pittman with Nick Foles.
How do you bite your tongue and hold your breath at this? Okay, it's possible.
Just like that. Nailed it. Dame said, is Fournette back above Rachaad White now? Joey, would you start Leonard Fournette over Rachaad White this week?
And PPR I would, and half PPR I would, and standard I might roll out White. But yeah, I mean Fournette has looked like the better option in any type of points per reception these last few weeks.
What about you, Jake?
Yeah, Lenny is back to being Brady's safety blanket. If he's on the field, Brady's looking for him rather quickly right now. So it's Fournette above White for me.
Yeah, it's going to be Fournette above White for me as well. We've got a question in here, not fantasy football, but from Grim. Needs Joey to answer this. Said, considering to meet AEW's Abaddon at a meet and greet this weekend, Joey, thoughts? Should I bring gauze and bandages?
And a barbed wire baseball bat, because Abaddon is terrifying. Simon, when we're off the show, I'd like you to Google Abaddon and just take a look at that wonderful performer and tell me what you think.
I might even just wait till the next time you're talking and ignore you and Google Abaddon just to see what it is.
It's pretty AEW Abaddon. It's terrifying.
There we go. Wyatt in here with a question for us. Wanted to know full PPR, Hassan Haskins or Isaiah Pacheco. Jake, which way you rolling on this one?
I'm going to go Pacheco. I don't love either option, but I have more confidence in Pacheco to have a real role in his game, whereas Haskins, he didn't impress me really at all coming out as a prospect, and just playing for a team that really has nothing to gain or lose. They could we don't know. They could throw the ball 40 times tonight just to see if they can make their passing offense work. Like, I just have no confidence that it's going to be, the offense of the pass where, Derrick Henry gets 30 carries. I just don't see that for Haskins.
Joe, you agreeing here?
Yeah, I like Isaiah Pacheco a lot. Not necessarily this week, but just in general. And Haskins, I don't know what to expect from him. We're going to find out tonight. I'll take what I know from Pacheco because I have seen some good games from him.
I'll roll Pacheco as well in this one. Nixa had a question for us. Said, hi, guys. What's up, Nixa? Thanks for joining us today. Should I play Josh Jacobs this week or lean in on Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins, or Hassan Haskins? Joey, are you still sticking with Josh Jacobs in your championship matchup, or are you switching to Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins, or Hassan Haskins?
So Sanders did practice today. I have them back to back, and I might go Miles Sanders. I'm starting to get scared off of Josh Jacobs this week. Not enough to say. I mean, he's outside of my top 12 running backs. So he's running back 13 now. So he's not, you're not sitting him. But between Miles Sanders, I might go with Miles Sanders. Josh Jacobs doesn't seem happy either in Las Vegas. That whole Las Vegas team doesn't seem happy. Yeah. I'm not saying the team's just going to lay an egg, but
maybe. What are you doing here, Jake?
Yeah, I think if Sanders is healthy and active, he's my preferred start here. The matchup's better. Jacobs, as talented as he is, this is a run defense that is the best in football, like just flat out allowing the least amount of fantasy points. I believe they're first in rush DVOA as well. Like, this is just a team I really want to avoid if I have better options, and Sanders to me looks like a better option this week.
Yeah, least amount of fantasy points, third least amount of rushing yards. Like, San Francisco is stout.
And you guys mentioned it, Stidham starting at quarterback here. They're probably not as scared of the pass with Stidham back there under center. They're going to be able to just key in on Josh Jacobs. Gator in here want to know any word on Burks tonight. We should get the inactives report in about 10 minutes. So Gator, we'll revisit this in 10 minutes. I'll keep refreshing that page, and then we'll come back with the official news on if he's active or inactive for tonight's game. I think it's looking good though for him to be active for tonight's game. Grim fan in here wanted to know Kendrick Bourne or Hunter Renfrow, half PPR. Jake, which way you rolling on this one?
This one's a good one in that I don't have an easy answer for you. It's going to depend on the projection of my matchup. If I'm a heavy favorite and I don't need a potential boom game, I'll throw Renfrow in there just as like a floor play, hoping I can get 7 to 10 points and call it happy. If I need upside, if I need a big game out of somebody, I'll throw Kendrick Bourne in there, just knowing he could break a touchdown. He could be the wide receiver one in the offense again, like he was last week. We don't know what it's going to look like, but Renfro's a safer play, but Bourne if you need a big game out of somebody.
Joey, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna roll with Bourne. Since Hunter Renfro's return from injury, I've not been too impressed. I think it's gonna be Bourne for me.
Yeah, this is close. I think I'll roll Kendrick Bourne as well in this situation. Lil Dan in here. What's up, Lil Dan? Wants to know Haskins or Mostert, bro. So, Joey, bro, is it Haskins or Mostert?
Simon, what do I love more than anything on this show?
Mustard?
When
players are
players
back to back in your rankings?
back to back in my rankings. Haskins and Mostert are back to back in my rankings. And I will go Mostert.
What about you, Jake?
Same boat here. They're not back to back in mine. They're a few spots apart, but I trust Mostert more than I trust Haskins here.
Fully. I'm going Mostert in this one as well. Dame said half PPR need 3 or to sit 2 of these players: Leonard Fournette, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore, and Garrett Wilson. So, Jake, if you're starting 3 of these players, which 3 is it going to be?
I'm going to start Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, and Leonard Fournette.
Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, and Leonard Fournette. What about you, Joey?
Full agreement. I think DJ Moore can have a good game against Tampa Bay because the universe and wanting to make me not happy, but it's still going to be those 3.
DJ Moore's been all right with Sam Darnold recently, so yeah. I'm tempted to start Garrett Wilson, but I think I'm agreeing with you guys. It's going to be Wilson, Walker, and Leonard Fournette here. But shout out DJ Moore. I think he's startable this week, even against Tampa Bay. Lucius in here. What's up, Lucius?
Hey, Lucius?
Thanks so much for tuning in. Said, I'm in a bad way tonight, guys, in my championship, and I have Hurts with no access to Minshew. Also a Dak manager. Should they play Dak tonight or roll the dice and hope Hurts plays? Hurts did practice today, so he's a bit confused. Joey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to play Dak. I don't think Jalen Hurts plays this week. I just don't. And you're really in a tough spot if you gamble and Hurts does sit, since you don't have Minshew.
If Hurts doesn't play and you don't play Dak tonight, you just lose. You just lose your championship. If you play Dak, at least it doesn't lose you the game tonight, right? Even if Hurts is better. But man,
if you really want to wait, Lucius, go out and see if Jared Goff's on the waiver wire. If he's on the waiver wire, pick up Goff. I've got them back to, I don't know where you guys have Goff and Prescott in correlation, but I'd be fine if you, I do not think Hurts is going to play, but if you want to wait just in case, go pick up Goff and then you'd have an option.
Jake, are you starting Dak Prescott tonight or are you waiting for Hurts?
Yeah, it would depend entirely on, like Joey said, if Jared Goff is there, I'm fine waiting. Past that though, like I would start Dak over like Deshaun Watson, Brock Purdy, Mike White, Russ, Wentz, Huntley, Bridgewater. Like there's just so many guys that Dak is going to be just a much more comfortable start. If Hurts plays, he's probably not going to run as much. They're not going to do design runs. If they get on the 1 yard line, they're probably not going to do the push play with him. They may bring Gardner Minshew in just for that push play, just so that they don't risk a re-aggravation of an injury there. I would just play Dak Dak's is still a high, high ceiling safety net. Like you could do much worse than having Dak in your lineup. So I'm just throwing Dak in and rolling with it personally.
Are there any milestones that like CeeDee Lamb needs to hit tonight or Michael Gallup? Because if that's
do not know. Not that I'm aware of.
Don't look it up. It's just off the top of the head. Didn't know.
Scampers in here wants to know Jonathan Ward or Tyler Batty. Jake, which one of these players would you be starting tonight?
You know what? I'm going to stick with Tyler Batty. I picked him up in a couple spots in the preseason just because I'm gonna roll him out there because why not?
Because why not? Joey, what about you?
Yep.
Tyler Batty, this is a tough spot. If you're in a championship and those are the players, I hope it's a 32-team league, Mr. Scampers. Gator in here said Walker, Knight, or E. White. E. White. Who's E. White? Am I missing a name there?
It's probably Rashad White. He's right
That's
next to
what I'm
R on the
thinking.
keyboard. That's my best guess.
Look at that detective work from Jake, looking at the keyboard, figuring it out. Jake, so you going with Rashad White, Zonovan Knight, or Kenneth Walker?
I like all 3 options. I would go Kenneth Walker though, with Bam as a very comfortable pivot if you were off Walker for any reason.
Yeah.
What about you, Joey?
100% agree. It's Walker, but Bam Knight versus Seattle it's intriguing. My DFS lineup, Zonovan Knight's in he's my running back on my DFS lineup. Sweet.
This has been one of the more agreeable office hours so far. We're in lockstep on most of these guys. We've had a couple disagreements, but we've been on the same page for a lot of it. Victor in here, the ever important question, wanted to know sloppy joes or fried pickles. He's about to get some fried pickles at a bar. The true answer is neither, but if I have to eat one, it'll be fried pickles. I hate both of these things. Sloppy joes are probably the most disgusting food on planet Earth, though. So I'll take fried pickles. Jake, sorry if I just insulted your favorite food, but are you going sloppy joes or fried pickles?
I hate pickles with a passion that I cannot explain in this world. So it's sloppy joes by an absolute landslide for me. Plus, there's a nostalgia factor to them that fried pickles can never give me. So give me them sloppy joes. I know you kids like them sloppy.
Joey, you like it sloppy or you going with the pickles?
You had a perfectly fine cucumber and then you pickled it. What the hell is wrong with you? It's sloppy joe. Sloppy joes are good. I'm sorry. I think they taste good. Jake, I never knew your pickle take. I love your pickle take. You can join me and Scott Fish in our anti-pickle club.
Yes.
And we meet once a week and we talk about how much we hate pickles.
Please just ignore that the color of my wall is shockingly similar to a pickle. This was the color.
Gross pickle.
Yes, but this was the color of the wall when I bought the house, and it just has stayed. So we're just going to roll with it.
Have you ever tried to trick somebody on stream that your name's Ansel Adams?
Because I haven't, but I should. This is my first live stream, second live stream with this background. I just rearranged my office, so still getting it figured out, but that was just already on the wall. So I get to pretend to be Ansel Adams now.
I like to have your serving glasses right there. So like if you want to have a little, little spirits during the show, you can have it right there.
Wait until I opened the bottle. I got really close when I was doing my Crushing the Competition show with Tyler earlier. I was like, yeah, I still got to work the rest of the day. I don't know if I can do this.
So we had a couple fantasy football game shows where Josh started taking shots and I gave into peer pressure. And then all of a sudden it's 3:00 in the afternoon. And I'm like, I have the rest of a work day. Like I still have shit I need to do. We've got Gabriel in here saying, am I crazy to start Algier over Walker? I've rolled with Walker, Zeke, and Connor pretty much all season. Thanks, guys. Jake, would you be starting Algier over Kenneth Walker this week?
I like Algier. I don't like him over Walker.
That's exactly how I feel. Joey, you on the same page?
Yep. I 100% agree with you guys.
And then Gabriel wants to know, what do you think about the Jags defense over the 49ers defense this week? Joey, what do you think here? The Jags are playing the Houston Texans in a game that doesn't have the implications for the Jags, or the 49ers against the Las Vegas Raiders with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback.
These are two of my favorite defenses this week. I really like the Jags against Houston, but it's going to be 49ers. I mean, they're going against Stidham. Like, holy cow. Yeah. And it is probably the best DST in football that you can start against a quarterback that we know nothing about, really. It's going to be 49ers.
Lucius in here said Zeke or Dalvin Cook with the super chat.
Lucius.
Thank you so much, Lucius. We appreciate it. Jake, you rolling out Zeke tonight, or are you starting Dalvin Cook in that potential shootout against the Green Bay Packers?
It's a good problem to have. I wish I had this problem in a few leagues. I'm gonna go with Dalvin. I just think the ceiling is higher. Zeke's probably a safer floor play, but if that game turns into the shootout that I think it can be, I want Dalvin in my lineup.
What about you, Joey?
Through week 6, Green Bay was top 10 against the run, and now they are bottom 12 against the run. Green Bay is really falling apart when it comes to the running game, defending against it. So it's going to be Dalvin Cook for me.
It's going to be Dalvin Cook for me as well, but I would try to get both of these guys in your lineups, Lucius. Yeah. I'm curious who your other running back is and who your flex is that Zeke is going to be sitting on your bench, because I would love to start him, especially with Pollard out right there. Another question in here from Dame. Dame wanted to know what's in the decanter behind Jake.
That is Knob Creek 18.
Knob Creek 18. Might break it out depending on how tough these questions get.
I'm saying.
Lil Dan said, please help me. We'll do our best. Pick 2 running backs so I don't lose the league. Pollard and Henry are out for me. God,
man, that's rough.
Yeah, that sucks. James Cook, Khalil Herbert, Raheem Mostert, or Hassan Haskins. Jake, which 2 of those running backs would you be starting?
Without knowing scoring, I'm going to go Mostert and Haskins, but if there's any PPR, give me Cook over Haskins.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I was hoping Khalil Herbert was going to get some more work when he came back last week, and just didn't really see anything out of him at all. I'd probably lean Cook and Mostert here, but I understand the Hassan Haskins pick.
It's going to be Cook and Mostert for me as well in this one. I got a little bit more confidence there. I've got no confidence around these Tennessee Titans tonight. This game could just be unbelievably ugly, and they don't get anything going offensively. Another question in here from Swamp. Well, first Swamp letting us know made it to the finals in 2 out of 3 leagues.
You'll love to see it.
Shout out Swamp. Said appreciate the help. You did it, my man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this season. They got one more question for us. Said pick one wide receiver in half PPR. DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Jacoby Myers, and George Pickens. Joey, which of those 4 wide receivers, picking one, would you start?
Yep. I get to say DJ Moore. I get to pick him in a question tonight, which makes me happy. So it'll be DJ Moore against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are really good against the run, but they have not been that good against the pass this year. So DJ Moore, he's looking better with Darnold.
What about you, Jake?
I'm going to keep the agreeable episode going. It's DJ Moore for me here.
And any excuse I have to start DJ Moore, I start DJ Moore. One of my favorite players, and he's looked good recently. I don't mind the matchup. I'm starting him over these other options you've got here. We got your average Joe in here. What's up, your average Joe? Do you need another prayer session for CMC? He comes in for the weekly CMC health prayer sessions. I think we got him covered this week. He's going to be good to go for the rest of the season.
Perfect.
Wants to know, FYF Joe or your average Joe as a YouTube handle? I'll get confused if you change it at this point. I know you as your average Joe.
Yeah, and if you go FYF Joe, like I have FYF Joey as one of our handles on something. It'll get really confusing. But you know what? I don't own it, so you can do whatever
Joe. You know what? And let's throw another one in there because my girlfriend gets not upset, but like confused because the people I talk about on a daily basis are Jay, JL, Jay Wall, and Joey. Like those are the people that I work with. If we can add a Joe in there, Joe, Joey, Jay, JL, and Jay Wall, it'll just be the most confusing collection of names that I could possibly bring up in daily conversation. How do you keep track of that if you don't know these people?
I was going to say people might need to just start being numbers at that point.
Just a letter and a number. Yep. But the problem is too many letters.
J1, J2,
J3. We had some more questions in here, guys. Swamp said pick one. Oh, we already did that one. Lil Dan said, would you start Dotson or Watson? So Jahan Dotson or Christian Watson this weekend. Joey, which way you rolling here?
I think it's pretty easy answer here. If Watson starts, you start him. If he sits, it's going to be Dotson. Hi, Tim.
Tim had to come in and said, Tim. Of course I talk about Tim, but you're not confusing because your name is Tim. Yeah. And Leanne knows who you are.
What if his name was Jim? That'd be great.
That'd be awful. Jake, are you starting Dotson or Watson?
Yeah, it's Watson. Dotson's a great backup plan to have if he doesn't go, but pretty comfortably Christian Watson here. That matchup is as juicy as it gets.
We had a question in here from Daniel, wanted to know if Christian Watson doesn't play, is Romeo Doubs a start in a PPR league? Joey, you got comfort in Romeo Doubs if Christian Watson is out?
If Watson's out, I do. If Watson's out, I think I could start against the Vikings and score some points, but they haven't called me yet. So it'd be Romeo Doubs over Joey.
What about you, Jake?
It would depend on my other options. If I have some really, really great wide receiving options, I wouldn't go Dobbs, but I said it earlier today. I think he's a solid flex play if Watson doesn't go.
Also, J-Wall coming in here letting us know no prayers for CMC. I play him in the finals against your average Joe. J-Wall, all the prayers are going towards CMC. I just got to let you know, man, I'm not sure I can put up with you as a champion of that league for the entire offseason. No. I need you to be humbled a little bit in that league.
We pray for CMC's health, right?
Yes.
So J-Wall, we're praying for the health, okay? He can put up less points, that's fine, but we don't want him getting hurt. We don't want to see an injury. Come on, J-Wall.
I want to see 100 points. An absolute showdown from CMC in this game. Jay, and you had a question. Dynasty tight end premium, so 1.5 points per reception, was just offered Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, in a 2024 second to give up Stephon Diggs and Keenan Allen. Wants to know if this is enough or if a bump to a 2024 first would make it enough. Jake, what do you think about this trade?
Yeah, I would agree. It's not enough for me on paper. I think Allen is, a second plus a little something. Whether you consider Darren Waller to be a little something and whether you consider a 24 second to be over a 23 second, that's on you. But for me, Diggs to Adams, it's a pretty close to a lateral move. I just like the fact that Diggs is tied to Allen versus Adams is tied to maybe not even Las Vegas after this year. So who knows what goes on there. I'd much rather have Diggs and Allen. If I'm getting a first for it though, I would make that trade. I would take on Adams, Waller, and a first for Diggs and Allen.
Joey, what about you here?
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. And shoot for the first. And I think I would accept this trade if it was just Adams and a first, honestly. Oh, wait, it's a 2024 first?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot for the Adams, Waller, and a 2024 first. If it would have been a 2023 first, I wouldn't need Waller if I could get the first and Adams.
We got J-Wall in who said, I'm quitting FYF then SMH. How dare you? But I think Ladarius hit the nail on the head with what's going on here. J-Wall, you're the heel, and everybody needs a heel. You need the villain in this story.
Heels are the best.
Without the villain in this championship matchup, it's not even fun to watch. So I'm giving you a hard time. But
what's up, Ladarius?
Man, it makes it a lot more fun. Ladarius, welcome in, my friend. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Daniel in here wanted to know, I see Kamara has not practiced. So would you start McKinnon, Cortland Sutton, James, or Dobbs over him in full PPR? Jake, are you still rolling with Kamara, or are you rolling one of these other players out instead of him?
Yeah, luckily we have the some time ahead of us still to see whether or not Kamara practices or is going to be active. McKinnon is a solid pivot if you have to pivot, though. Still got to see what's going on with Sutton, and if Judy's not healthy, Sutton definitely gets a bump there if he is. But McKinnon's a solid pivot if not for Kamara.
Joey, full agreement? I see the
full
thumbs
agreement.
up there.
Yeah. Do we know the times of the games?
Someone does for sure. They've been settled. I
do
think the
believe New
Saints
Orleans-
game is at 1. The Eagles
Okay,
play
so
at 1.
You're gonna know, which is good. So if Kamara starts, that's the question. Are you guys starting McKinnon over Kamara regardless? I'm not. I still have Kamara ranked higher. But McKinnon has been phenomenal the last 4 weeks.
That is wildly close, but I think I still start Kamara.
Yep.
I think I still start Kamara against Philly.
Daniel, can you get them both in your lineup? Like, find a way.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I wish I could say with confidence it was Alvin Kamara, but it's a lot closer than anybody thought it would be coming into week 1 this year.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. If Jerick McKinnon didn't have Denver as the matchup here, I think it would be a slam dunk McKinnon play. Now the tough run defense does maybe favor McKinnon over Pacheco there, but it's still a good defense. Mr. Scamper's letting us know Pollard and Henry officially out. So we will see no Pollard and no Henry tonight. The NFL inactives list has come out. And it doesn't look like Treylon Burks is listed as inactive. So hopefully we see some Treylon Burks out there on the field tonight as well. Joseph said every point counts. So can you go over kicker rankings? I have gold versus Las Vegas, but not sure if I should pivot to someone on the wire. We can't run through full kicker rankings here, but we might be able to pick out some players that could be on the waiver wire that maybe we would prefer over them. Jake, are there any kickers that you prefer this week that are priority targets for you?
Let me pull this up real quick. I know there are some kicker options that I do like. I actually have to talk to Joey about one of them. I think one of them may be an option for us in a league over Nick Folk. Didn't think I'd be saying that at any point in the year.
Yeah, I've got Folk towards the bottom of my kicker rankings. So
yeah.
For this week.
So who could be available that I would plug in over him? If Michael Badgley's available, I like him a little bit more. If Mason Crosby or Riley Patterson are available, I think I like both of them a little bit more, but Gold is kind of right in that cluster there. There's not too many names I would prefer that are likely available.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like Graham Gano is still sitting around on everybody's waiver wire, even though he's been great the last few weeks. So if Graham Gano's out there, I'm definitely starting him over Gold. But I have got Gold as my kicker 9, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, I'm looking at these potential shootouts. There's a couple of them this week. We've already talked about Green Bay, Minnesota, and Jake already mentioned those kickers right there. If either one of those are out there, I'm picking them up. And then that Bills-Bengals game, I wouldn't mind grabbing either kicker from there, but they're probably not on the waiver wire. You're probably not going to be able to go snag those guys. But if they are, grab one of these shootout kickers. Dylan in here had a question for us. Said Zeke, Lenny, or Algier at the RB2 or flex spot, or needs to flex 2 of these players.
Okay.
So Joey, which 2 from Zeke, Lenny, and Algier would you pick?
I'll go Zeke and Lenny.
Zeke and Lenny. Jake, you full agree in there?
Yep, full agree.
And again, I don't think this is an anti-Algier take. Jake, you were saying earlier you don't mind Algier this week.
Yeah, I have Algier as a top 20 option, but I have Lenny and Zeke both, like I said, as top 12, 13 options.
And then Jake, of these 4 wide receivers, got to start 2 of them. Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson, Amari Cooper, and Jerry Jeudy. Which 2 are you starting?
There's a chance that the only 2 you can start are Dotson and Amari. If everybody is fully healthy, if Lockett plays, They've said his finger is fine if he's playing. That's basically where I'm looking at it. So if Lockett is healthy, I'm playing him. Judy left practice, which is always a concern as to whether or not he's going to be able to get out there. But Dotson, I'm going to just smash him in there. Judy would be my preferred option if healthy, but I think it's most likely that you're going to have to start Dotson and Amari here. So I would just mentally prepare for that ahead of time.
Joey, what about you?
We broke it down perfectly.
There we go. Daniel Keenan in here wanted to know, this is bad for my fantasy bowl tight end equals Dulcich, Waller, or Jelani Woods, Juwan Johnson, or Daniel Bellinger on the waiver wire. Jake, would you be rolling out Greg Dulcich, Darren Waller, or one of these waiver wire tight ends that he mentioned?
I would probably run Waller out there, assuming Dulcich doesn't play. Just sticking with the backup quarterbacks, target tight ends narrative and just hoping that works. I just don't like any of those other options over what Waller can give you.
Yeah, it's not a pretty Waller start, but I'm still starting Waller over all those other options. Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I'd like to say Juwan Johnson, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be Darren Waller.
Also, Daniel in here letting us know, can't get both of those players in there from earlier because they have Eckler and Stevenson as well. So you know what?
You might, though, because Eckler might not play. Keep an eye on that.
Yep.
That is a good point. Keep an eye on that. And at least you got a good backup plan.
Yeah.
Sam in here said redraft championship, half PPR, 12-man league, start Let's 3. Go. Congrats on making it. Terry McLaurin, Christian Watson, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, and Michael Gallup. Jake, if you got to start 3 of these players, which 3 are you starting?
It's McLaurin, Watson, and Keenan for me, and I'm just hoping that the Chargers don't limit the workload of Keenan Allen like I think they will. If you're worried about Keenan Allen's workload, though, you could do worse than plugging Gallup in tonight.
What about you, Joey?
Crap. I'm wondering if you have to start Gallup tonight because Christian Watson, Lockett, and
yeah.
Man, I would honestly probably wait. So I'm going to start McLaurin, Watson, and Allen as well. And then, I mean, you're in your final week, so it doesn't matter if you have to drop somebody. If Christian Watson doesn't start, you drop him and pick up. Maybe Romeo Doubs is out there. Yeah. Pick someone else up because I going against Minnesota, that matchup is too juicy. And then Lockett might play, so you might fall back onto that. But yeah, I hate telling you to skip on someone that we know is going to start when there's 3 other questionable guys or 2 other questionable guys. But that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think you go with the first 3 and just cross your fingers and hope that either Watson or Lockett plays and say Gallup tonight. We got Dave in here saying Jake and Joey and Simon, hat tip. Welcome in, Dave. And guys, we got one more question we're going to hit. User 75478. Is that a Swedish name? It's beautiful. Said, hey, guys, I'm in line for a 3-peat for a $1,200 league. Hell yeah. I'm in a double flex, and my backs are Singletary, Sanders, Dobbins, and I just picked up Haskins. Would you play Haskins? Especially because I also have Debo, but I'm unsure if he will play. So, Joey, looking at this team, are you plugging in Haskins tonight?
I'm not. I feel pretty confident that Debo is going to play, but even if he doesn't, I would rather play Singletary, Sanders, or Dobbins over Haskins. And you need 2 of them? Yeah, so.
What about you, Jake?
You can sit Haskins tonight.
Yep, lockstep with Joey right here.
And rapid fire, let's hit one more in here. Uncle P said, need 2 flex. Gabriel Davis, Tyler Algier, Jahan Dotson, Mike Williams, and Isaiah Pacheco. Jake, which 2 of these would you be plugging into your lineup?
I'm going to go Algier and Dotson here.
Joey, what are you doing?
We disagree on the last question. I'm sorry. It's going to be Mike Williams, and Tyler Algier for me.
Man.
But we agreed on one of the players, so it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Williams is definitely going to be in there for me. And then I am tempted, Joey, by what you were talking about with the Bills-Bengals game to put Gabriel Davis in there. It feels like a Gabriel Davis game, but I think I still roll Tyler Algier. There's some more safety in there with the workload that Algier has been getting. Also, if you have more questions, guys, if we didn't get to your question today, J-Wall in here letting everyone know. He said, I heard there's an FYF Discord I can ask my questions in. Is that right? That is absolutely right. Yeah, there is. And I will make sure to throw a link in the chat here to join our Discord. Throw your questions in there, and we will be more than happy to answer each and every single one of them leading up to kickoff and going into this weekend. Before we head out, though, Jake, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us for Fantasy Football Office Hours today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a blast as always. It's one of my favorite shows to hop on, and you guys are awesome. And just thank you guys for for having me back.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you aren't following Jake, go and fix that right now. He's on Twitter at Perry_FF. And follow JWB Fantasy Football on Twitter as well. They got an awesome team over there. Every single one of those guys, phenomenal. And we love what you're building over there at JWB. Joey, did you have something?
I did. Simon, this is our last office hours of the season. I just wanted to thank everyone for watching. This is like my first show that I've ever had. It's I've been on every week, and so it means a lot to me. Simon, it's been a blast streaming with you every week. So I just want to say thank you. Jake, thank you for being on twice this year.
This has been a ton of fun.
Guys.
Yeah.
And guys, this may be the last office hours. We may be off on Thursday nights for a little bit from this, but there's going to be a little bit. There's going to be some more Thursday night shows coming up after the Front Yard Fantasy Hour as the off season progresses. So don't worry, we will be back until tomorrow morning, though, when you can catch us on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. That is going to be it today. Best of luck in your fantasy football championships this week. Another big thanks to Jake, and thank you to everybody who hung out with us today. Until tomorrow morning, adios, everyone.
Go win those championships, everybody.
Yeehaw!